recording.
So I truly have not looked at any of the cards in this thing. I maybe have seen like one or two or whatever, but like I've seen just like people talk about them. I've heard things like basically a Soviet Wirbelwind or German Lend-Lease. So I'm you know, I'm ready.
You're ready? Okay. I don't think those are accurate takes, but we'll see.
Even better. Take
Yeah.
source from the trash can
Yeah.
that is
All right. There's 84
wherever I'm
cards.
at.
Let's start. Let's get started.
84 partnership random. So this is actually one of the very few that I have seen. I haven't done the math, but there's a lot of US elites that are low cost, so it seems like trash. It seems like a trash coin flip. Blitz becomes veteran if you control 119 Grenadier. So that's an interesting synergy. I don't feel like we have had seen synergies before where like it's just like, hey, do you have this other named guy? You get a big buff. The enemy HQ takes 4 damage. That's pretty wild. Oh, and it's an elite. This is really cool. I like this. I don't know if it'll be good. It's probably too complicated to be like worthwhile, but it's cool.
This
Next.
is in the reverse order that they were announced.
Okay, and this is the homie that it needs. So it's 2 elites. So you're gonna build a deck around like these two. I mean, I would love infantry decks to become real. Also, they instantly become veterans when they have each other. That's adorable. And at the end of the turn, give all enemy units a fucking root out. Oh god. Uh it's so powerful that it can't be good. It's gonna be too expensive. It costs like 12 to like put them both out. It's awesome, and that's why it won't ever actually work. Oh, here we go. Rapid fire. Choose one. Marshall's. Oh, okay, I see. Uh, so this is a special, so this should be good. Deal 4 damage to a target. 8 if this card is spent 4+ turns in your deck. Okay. Draw 4 cards, draw 8. This is goofy. My initial thought is this is goofy, and when I think things are goofy, they usually don't work out in their favor for seeing like hard plays. So I'm gonna go with goofy out of 10. It's just the Wirbelwind. Becomes veteran as I don't know, it's like a mini KV. Uh, Fourth turn, get the fuck out of here. No one's leaving that for 4 turns. Who cares? It's a blitz tank with 1 op cost. It's nothing. 4 turns. 3 health is like the high of the low end of health. It's easy to remove. Get out of here. Give a friendly. Maybe that might pub stomp. Maybe you can pub stomp with those. Obviously, I mean, you can't even do cool combo stuff with it because it has to. You can't. I know that there are things, right? Like there's going to be like a give veteran to a unit, right? Like there's going to be like an auto promote order. So maybe you can do some wacky combo stuff and make people draw cards with French cards and get them that way. But
Four
it's just wow.
turns.
4 turns, dude. What's that's in 4 turns? I'm a veteran. Promote me. Give a friendly unit removed from the battlefield at the start of your turn to gain 6 credits and draw 3 cards. Huh. That's really interesting. And it's limited. So Jaguar needs new draw mechanics. Maybe this is it. Uh, it sounds cool. Obviously, you put it on guys who are about to die or crappy. Or it's also maybe you can do tokens with Japan now,
Well, the
and
card
you
that you
can
put it on has to
sacrifice single
survive to the next
tokens.
turn for it to happen.
Start of your turn. That's a good point. I did not fully possess that when I read it. So yeah, again, so a lot of really cool stuff that's not easy to pull off happening. A lot of things in this expansion so far that are like uh, begging me to kill the thing that you're trying to do something fun with. When a friendly unit deals 1 combat damage, deal 2 damage to the enemy HQ. Why does British always get BS like this? I hate this. All their stupid planes doing little ticky tack damage. I got to keep track of all the little things that are happening. I don't. This is gonna find its way into well, commandos, and I hate commandos. It's my least
It's
favorite.
combat damage, not damage.
That's true. So
So
commandos don't
so
count.
yeah. So think There's going to be some other cards that you'll see with synergy with this, and then also think like Humber.
I don't want to think about it with Humber. Yeah, combined arms. So 5/5 for 4 is okay with one op cost. Third turn it becomes a guard and it gets 3 extra health. Sure. I'll take those in draft, I guess. Draft out of 10. Fiery ambush. I think this is one of the ones I've seen. Deal 3 damage to a unit. If they have no units, deal 3 damage instead. I saw people arguing about like how this is like power creep to make like from the people irrelevant, but it's off nation, like a side nation. You have to take French, you know. So I don't know. I don't think it's gonna
Side note:
break
Does
anything,
the
but it might see real play
does the French flag on the guy's hat make you think of Uncle Sam top hat?
a little bit.
That's what I see. I see Uncle Sam.
Uncle Fram. Sincerely yours. Give your HQ 6 defense. Draw 2 cards. 4/4. Sure. That's awesome. That's gonna see play. Brits don't need that. That's asshole-ish. I assume that if you are going to play any kind of Brit control, why would it's one more than a convoy. It costs one more than a convoy to give your like it's they mashed convoy and what's the other what's the big health boy for Brits? The blue card with the building on it. Fortification. They just mashed fortification and convoy into a card
Think
for
about
one more.
having 1 or 2 honeys on the field too.
No. Ridiculous. The Brits don't need this. They're already like so powerful. All I see is good Brit cards and like terrible excuses for Soviet cards. Damage dealt by this unit adds equal defense to your HQ. Okay, so we're gonna get more Italian guys with Mare since they took Mare out of the game. So it's like the Alpini. When a unit is fully repaired, deal damage to a random enemy unit equal to damage repaired. Very fun, too wacky to probably happen. I would love for some sort of crazy US like heal unit. Or, I'm sorry, heal deck to with Texas. Is it Texas that duplicates when it gets healed?
No, Texas doubles its attack when you gain credits.
Oh, that one's dumb. What's the one I'm thinking of?
It's a 3/5.
Yeah.
I forget the name.
But all that would be fun. I know that there's like some new version of Cadet Nurse Corps that's just better, I think, or something in this, right?
We'll see.
I think I saw during somebody's stream that one revealed. Okay, we got it to the last man on a bomber. That's fun. Storm Dragon. If Japan control can finally happen, I assume it's definitely bringing that. Desert Raid, all units deal 1 combat damage until your next turn. So that's like a National Fire Service, but like a little different. The National Fire Service got retired, huh?
Yeah, it's in the pool.
Yeah, I only know that because Baron of all people was like mourning the loss of National Fire Service. No one else even knew it was retired because nobody else cared, but Baron was like, my beloved. Guards rifles. If the enemy has no veteran units at the start of your turn, that's probably really easy to fulfill. So that's probably going to see play. Uh, when you deploy a unit, it becomes okay. So it's clearly meant for like a veteran deck. That sounds like it's really fun. I have no idea if, and we'll have to see if like the meta has slowed down. I think that was like an attempt. Like the new set is an attempt at that, I feel. I mean, I haven't looked at them. I just that's kind of what I'm hoping for, maybe wishful thinking, that they're trying to make. But like infantry decks are slow and like they just haven't worked since that one time that Alpine had what was the OBK? The OBK made Alpine not slow and it was good, and then they were just like, no. Infantry decks must be slow and also useless. Under fire, deal 1 damage to your target enemy unit or adjacent enemy's pin unit. Isn't this like there's like a card like this already, like Surrogate or one of the other ones.
Yeah.
But cool. Japan has more pin. I don't like that. Oh, 10. Protect the pocket. This is you put the Philadelphia Eagles on this card. Draw 4 cards. You have 4 units of active pincer and the next enemy turn immediately. Skip a turn. I don't like the idea of that in the game at all. Draw 4 cards for 10 makes it seem like it might actually to use this. This is the German Lend-Lease. I don't know. It's obviously it's begging to be put in a pincer deck, and who knows if there's actually going to be enough to like have pincer decks be useful.
I feel like if you have 4 active pincers on the field and you skip the enemy's next turn, you're winning.
Yeah, but if you have 4 active pincers, is your board developed to win enough already? Because it just win more. You probably definitely don't need those 4 cards. Destroy a target unit with cost 1 or less and gain 1 credit. Okay. Night bombing. Destroy target undamaged unit, then randomly rearrange enemy units on the battlefield. That's a funny effect. I mean, I could definitely see it being useful to like try to luck into moving somebody's cards around, but it's also it just seems too chance like a lot of times there's only 1 unit out or something. You know what I mean? Like destroy target and damage unit. Like it's very possible they only have 2, and then you kill one, and then the other's just moving around. It's moving to the other side of the HQ, maybe. I don't know. Silly effect.
Oops, I
Oh
skipped
god.
one.
The Algerians. Sick camel. All right, so this one is the best art so far. Adjacent non-French units have +2 attack, and it has blitz. That's fun. I could definitely see that getting some use.
So
It's like American combat engineers.
basically, there's a picture of me with a rifle showing you the ways and cards right there.
Maybe Mobilize could make some fun use of this.
I don't think it's a mobilized card.
Yeah, I'm just saying there's a bunch of British units on the ground. Trying to think quickly. Show me the next one. Enemy ground unit is destroyed. That seems like a pretty reasonable, especially. Oh wow, yeah, it's a blitz bomber. Enemy discards a card when you attack and destroy a ground unit. All right, that's ridiculous. It's fun that there's finally a discard Stuka that actually sounds like it's good and works. Uh, but to actually pull the discard off, it's got to survive a turn, right? You're gonna probably play it for 6 so that you can get a kill with it and get it to veteran right away. And then they have a very easy chance of just doing 2 damage to it, right? That's hard to defend. So uh, really cool, really easy to remove. Who knows? I don't even know if discard would play it because it just seems like it's so easy to remove. I mean, maybe if you're already out ahead, if you've truly discarded like a lot of stuff and you're pretty confident that they're not,
Well, it does have blitz, so you can at least go 1 for 1 with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's always going to see use for that, or be a little useful with that. Yeah, good point. Draw a card, draw down a card, you control a guard. Uh, that's fun. That's 1 cheaper than Convoy. It shouldn't be that hard to do, but I don't know what kind of maybe some sort of guard heavy control deck, obviously, right? But like, if that's going to come back around, comes veteran when it attacks and destroys a unit. Deal 3 damage to the enemy HQ. Okay, so it's like Africa Corps or something, or rifles, Africa rifles. Uh, yeah, German burn hasn't really been a thing for a while. I don't think Bismarck got retired, so I'm all for anything that makes a Bismarck deck playable. Give people the business. Shoot some. Another elite. Your units cost 2 less to deploy. When you deploy a unit, retreat this unit. That's fun. So essentially, you play units in 2. This is only costing 1, or play you want to play it with 2 or more other units for free. To play it for free, I guess like it's more stuff for tokens, right? If you have a bunch of
Uh, I'm not
tokens, but a lot of
exactly
times you
sure.
spawn.
The way I read this is this effect is only active when it's on the field, and you just get the discount on the one unit that you play.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. So I don't really. It just comes so something it costs 3, you save 2, then you retreat it. I would have to think about that one more. Snap judgment on that one is that it's complicated and weird, and I don't really know how someone would make it work to their advantage to like truly see what meta play. Deal 2 damage to a target unit, retreat it if it is also a veteran. It's so conditional, probably bad. Add 2 Panzer 1Bs to the front line if it is not enemy controlled, which costs 4. What's the 1B? Is that a new Panzer?
Yeah, it's new. It's a 1/2 that has a veteran effect.
Okay, that's interesting. Diplomatic attaché. Deal 1 damage to a target enemy, +1 for each played diplomatic attaché. So those are going to scale. So a lot more burn options, which is interesting. Burn really hasn't been a thing for a long time. Even like Jagra, like Mito's pretty much got filtered out eventually. So that's interesting that there's a lot of burn. I wonder if it'll be enough to make burn real again. Draw a card when a unit becomes veteran. So yeah, they're really begging for. Okay, so the Green Howards is an awesome name. I got that going for him. That reminds me of like the US card that draws when you get you gain a credit slot, right?
Yeah,
It's 3/6. The US one's like 3/5. They both cost 4, both draw based, both specials.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I mean, you don't obviously again like a veteran based deck. We'll see if there's enough veteran tools for like a full veteran based deck that's worth playing. Deal 1 damage to adjacent units. They get +2 attack. It's like enrage tech and like other games. I could definitely see that. Yeah, so my thought is playing like that with Greyhounds, right? Or even 35 Ts.
You could play it
Uh,
in a heal deck where you're dealing damage when your units heal, and this is a
that's also
mechanism
true.
to damage your own units.
But throwing it out with cheap blitzers, obviously, unlike Greyhounds have uh the 3 health for all 1 cost unit is pretty chunky. So suddenly those are 3/2s with blitz. Pretty nice. Trigger an extra time. Okay, so yeah, we figured stuff like this was coming out. So obviously you want Elephant Man in this and you want to do a billion burn damage and have a good time. I hope it happens. I hope it's real. The BFL. Deal damage to the enemy HQ equal to the number of non-French units you control. More burn. A lot of burn. Uh, so the burn we've saw so far is German Japan, and I don't know that
And
one of
French
them.
and French.
Right, but what I'm saying, like, it's almost split up too much. Are you gonna take like, are there gonna be enough German burn that you can take German and then France, or enough Japan that you can take Japan and then France? Are we gonna see competing burn decks? I assume only one of them is gonna like only one burn deck is going to probably take hold if one does, and it's either gonna use France or not, right? Like so if France has enough that it's better than taking the other main nation, then this card will stick around. Otherwise, it's just gonna get people just use the other tools for burn because they're better. Uh, cool. Pincer target. 3/3 for 2 costs with 1 infant or 1 op is nice. But infantry. So seems like the pincer deck is going to be like Soviet German, which is fun. I feel like Soviet German's probably one of the most like least seen uh, combinations. takes damage or fully repaired, gets to attack, and it's a 3/7, so kind of like a berserker unit, just constantly has a lot of health. Try to get it buffed, try to get it strong. Uh, it'd be interesting if there's some sort of Soviet US, or maybe US frontline starts taking Soviet because of all these like big infantry effects. Maybe you can do something with that.
I think Soviet ramp will be viable.
It'll also be interesting if like somehow German infantry, because they have like all these big veteran units. I would love to play those two 6/6 guys together. I don't feel like it's gonna be like a good meta deck, but it'll be so fun to play turn 12, drop those two boys. Be like the boys are out. It's over for you. The boys are out.
Double Reichsbank into
Yeah,
turn six double
yeah.
veteran.
King's Own Scottish. This is obviously a great card. This is the best card that's in the game now. Damage dealt to this unit is dealt to its pincer partner instead. That's cool. So you can throw this guy out, buff him, and then put a sacrificial lamb. Uh, I like this just because I love Sterling, and Sterling is awesome and doesn't get any play because the game's the game. This is kind of like adding the Sterling effect anyway. 7 cost tomahawks. Add a copy of this unit to your support line. It becomes veteran. So it goes out and it does whatever, and then it dies, and then you get the veteran version at your back line, which is just the same thing except with a DFA. So for 7 costs, you get 2/4/3s and a DFA. Only you get it over the course of like 2 or 3 turns. I don't know, man. It might be too wackadoo. Give your units +2/+2 and draw 2 cards. It's a 6/6 fighter, which is nice, but 7 cost is a lot for all of that. So normally, right, if you have a big plane like that and it's a high cost, you're worried about it getting bounced, but you wouldn't want to bounce this because 2/2 buffs and draw 2 cards. So it's got that going for it. So maybe it'll be strong enough
No, if you bounce
that
it, it
like.
doesn't have the destruction effect.
Oh right, sorry, I thought I read it as deployment. Correct. Too fast. Yeah, no, since it's destruction, then yeah, this is gonna get bounced. It's gonna get bounced forever. Too big, too bounceable. Maelstrom, deal 4 damage to each non-veteran unit. Uh, sure. I mean, build the veteran deck, and you take this, and then you throw it out, and you try to get a board clear, except for all your vets. I don't know if enough of it's going to come together. It's +1/+1 when it attacks. Is a 2/5. Sure. Well, it's just basic infantry. I don't know. This kind of stuff is, I assume, just gonna. I mean, it is a pincer, so pincer deck has to happen somewhere.
You could pincer it on Artie or a bomber.
Yeah, I mean, even maybe like CA or something, because that had some like pincer tech before or whatever. Draw 24th Cavalry Regiment from your deck. Blitz with destruction with a draw effect. That'll definitely see you play. That's good. And I have to imagine, like, whatever form Jaggro is going to take, a blitz unit with draw, I would imagine is going to be useful. It is only that specific unit. You can only have 3 of them though, so maybe I'm being overzealous. Enemy of the gates. All units get +2 attack and are dealt 2 damage. So yeah, it is really begging you for like the Soviet self-damage American heal combo with the biggest infantry units of all time. Could be fun. When this unit attacks and destroys a unit, gain a credit and draw a card, and it only costs 3. Uh, Pincer as well. You can put that on something else that's better suited for it. I could see that being played. I could see that being pretty annoying.
How annoying.
Oh, Spitfire tech. Just empty your entire hand of Spitfires. So at best, you have 4 Spitfires in your hand, and you play this, and you get to play all 4 of them, which would be maybe like 6 times 4. Would be like a 24 credit out for 10. Seems like a pretty big payoff. I don't really know.
I like it.
I do like it, but if you only say you only get 3 Spitfires out, I mean, if you get 399s for 10, but it's not that you get 399s, you have to draw the Spitfires and be holding on to them.
Keep in mind, my Spitfire decks are with German Reichsbank.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how you're gonna have to use something like this. Otherwise, like you're gonna need to be playing your Spitfires before turn 10 to, have a deck. And if you're past turn 10 and you're holding that many,
It's a good. It's a
this would
good.
seem like a win more card.
It's a good
And if
popper card.
you're wait, what?
I'm just kidding.
Uh, Destroy friendly unit and adjacent units. Your units get +X/+X, where X is the units destroyed. And that only costs 2. That seems
It's a
very good.
friendly unit.
I need to read better. So I think it's just like kind of self-damagey token stuff. I can see like if you got a bunch of guys on the front line, you could attack with some and then kill the ones you've already attacked with and buff like the remaining ones and try to snowball out. So again, maybe like some token stuff or whatever crazy US heal thing that they're trying to play, but I don't know. Smarter people can probably make better use of that. Cost only +2 credits to target or attack this unit. All right, so we're giving some of that American tech to the Soviets. Putting it on Pincer is pretty gross. Like a lot of units you can put that on that it's going to be pretty gross. 6 is a lot though. 5/5 bomber. Huh. That's an interesting card. I could see it just never really seeing play, and I could also see it becoming pretty used. I don't know. That's Polish technically as well, right? Or no, is it Soviet? That is Soviet. The most looks brown at the top. Ancestral Call. +1 attack for each other unit in their front. Cool. Big buff, I guess. For each other unit in their front. Oh. Act on the intel. Finally, a Polish card. Deal damage to target enemy equal to known cards in the enemy hand. And it's intel 3. So, oof. This also means that they have to have like a big hand. It almost is like a defend in depth kind of a thing, where to like truly make use of it. Not only do you have to have the intel cards to be getting the intel to make it do a lot of damage, but they have to have enough cards in their hand for you to get like 5
It can hit
intels, 6
face, and there's 4
intels.
of them though.
That's true. That's huge. Does say deal damage to target. Target enemy, not unit. Choose one. Your unit gets. Oh man, maybe you could do some really crazy Polish brand things. Oh man. Choose one. Your units get +2 attack, or they get +2 defense for the turn. Uh, sure. That feels pretty basic. Uh-oh. That's the best card, whatever that one was. 5/5 smoke screen for 4. Good art on this one. Reduce damage to this unit by 2 for each adjacent unit. That's very cool. Oh, and it's smoke screen. So it's begging you to like kind of take advantage of it once you've really met it's not taking any damage. It's almost like California Tech or something like that. I could see that getting used in a US frontline scenario. The regulars fully repaired. Unity of strength to your hand. That's interesting. I mean, if there's enough stuff to make like the heal deck viable, then all this heal stuff is gonna see play. But it's so hard for a dumb guy like me to know truly how any of this new meta is gonna shape up. Damages the enemy HQ. Oh, so this is the 2B. And then it becomes a 2/2, and you get to add another one to your hand. So this is gonna be like a spammy swarm thing, especially as like a 1-drop. I mean, this is gonna. Oh, did Hines get retired?
I don't think so.
This Hines is back, baby. This is some fast Hines. Has +1 attack for each friendly unit in the front line. Uh, well, that's interesting. Kind of makes like everything into a Greyhound. Uh, yeah, sure. New US already. I don't really know that where it'll see anything, but that's fun. Units cannot be repaired, so something to counter all of that new American and Soviet tech. A 4/5 blitz for on turn 5 is very nice. So I could see that seeing some action. It's just stats are just good. Trigger the destruction effects on a target unit as if it was yours. Then remove the effects of its enemy unit. That's very cool. Holy shit. You could steal a Yosef.
Yeah.
That's disgusting for 3 that you could just steal a Yosef. I don't
The keys were in
I
the
don't
tank.
like
I don't know. The
this.
keys were in the tank.
I don't like this card. What in the blue blazes? What?
Dude. Just run 1x and just run at least 1 to greed, huh?
I just want to steal Yosef with it now. Good God, it's inspiring bad things.
What if you steal something that has a destruction effect and get it, and then oh no, never mind. That doesn't make sense.
Fully repair friendly damage unit at a copy. Oh, so basically the effect of that card. That's not gonna. 5 costs too much. That costs way too much. That needs to cost like 3 or 4. I mean, maybe you put it in like a ramp deck and it's like a late game thing, and you use it on like a Flying Fortress or something, or a B12 or whatever. Vitamin B12. What's the 6/6 heavy armor bomber?
B17F.
Sure, that one. This is very nice art. This turn your units are immune to damage and cannot attack the enemy HQ. Wow, this only costs 1. I imagine that this will see play. Your units are immune to damage and have, yeah, I mean, that is trying to get the upper hand in a if they're truly trying to make this more units on each side and like more of a unit based game, then like that card should loom pretty heavily. Destroy friendly infantry. Add a Soviet tank with the same cost. Give it blitz. And that only costs 1. Maybe Soviet value makes a comeback. I don't like Ural is still around, right? That didn't get retired.
I don't think so.
Yeah, and things like confusion, and then you could confuse an infantry and then destroy it. Add a Soviet tank with the same cost. You can do some fun stuff. With it only being infantry, it'll be a little tougher. But again, we've seen a lot of like the Soviet heal infantry and stuff. Next. I'm taking too long on each one. We're trying like halfway through. If you control the front line, target enemy unit must retreat. Okay, nice. Cost 5 for 5/6. Why take this over the 6 cost 5/5 tank that you don't need the front line for? This is almost like the opposite of power creep. It's got 1 more health and it's 1 up cost, but it's infantry, so it's way slower. So like, why would I not just
Why not both?
like I have to have the front line? What's up?
Why not both?
I mean, sure, you could take like a really heavy retreat heavy. I mean, you could throw some Humbers in there if you wanted to. Not Humbers. What's
Hummels,
the two
Hummels.
four Hummels? Yeah, throw some Hummels in there. Destroy an enemy unit with two adjacent units, and it's 5, 8, 5. Huh. Situational, not crazy situational, but situational. I don't know. Maybe some weird Japanese control, which looks like there's is getting some tools, but it seems too wonky, too specific. Deal 1 damage to target enemy for each unit you control above the enemy. 1 damage to target enemy, so you can do this to face too. So as you know, Kanones are back on the menu.
Shh.
Kanone.
Don't talk about that yet.
That's true. I'd edit that out. No one used Kanones. Jungle Warfare. Destruction, deal 2 damage to a random enemy and trigger its destruction effect. So you get the 2 damage for free, and then it also gets 2 more when it actually dies. It's like you get to
Ooh.
trigger, you give it the destruction effect, and then you trigger it, but it doesn't actually die. And then you're going to get it again when it actually dies. Correct?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. 5 seems like a lot, but that's 4 after damage, or after damage twice.
And also, you trigger the
Uh,
destruction effects it already has as well.
That's true. You could definitely get some value out of that. I could see this scene play. It's pretty clear Japanese destruction is going to be an archetype. So
This might.
distribute damage to enemy cards equal to the number of cards on the battlefield.
This is
So
my favorite card.
if the board has 6 things on it and you have 2, it's going to distribute 6 damage among your 2 units.
I don't know if it counts the HQs.
True. I mean, it has to. It better. The fact that we can only take 39 cards and the game considers it 40 out of 40 by its own definitions, then it fucking better, or I'm gonna be pissed. That's very semantics, but that's like
This might be why they retired Desperate Measures.
it's a good point. Are you gonna bleep out all my swears? This video is not getting monetized.
We're not monetized yet. No, I'm just gonna
Maybe,
upload it.
maybe you aren't. Support column. You have a unit adjacent ground units have +1 attack and operate for 1 less. That's pretty cool, and it only costs 1. I can see this scene play because it's really easy to spend 1 to save 2, and anytime that you can scrum credits like that, that's a money boy right there. Look at the face. Zoom in on that face. You probably can't zoom in. Enhance. That's a
uh,
money boy right there. He's got a money shovel for the fucking money trenches. You can see it in his eyes.
money,
More
money, money.
Polish. Rapid response at a Legion unit to your support line for each enemy unit in the front line. That's very cool. You could get obviously only 4 at max, but if you got
You,
4 Legions for 2 costs, that's a big deal
you could get 5.
for your HQ.
That's the front line. The front line doesn't have the HQ. Oh, that's true.
But it's to your support line, so you
Yeah.
could only get 4. If they have 5 in the front line,
You're right.
oh god, I haven't read this yet. I just see Soviet Blitz party that's legendary.
It's a
What
Soviet
do we
comet.
what do we call our? I'm having such a brain fart. Elite, geez, elite. Retreat this unit before damage is applied when it is attacked. What? So you have to kill it from hand? Oh my god! Of course that's seeing play. That's disgusting. I want to buff it.
So you have to kill it with an order or a countermeasure.
Yeah, Soviet Kanone deck.
It's
Edit
a
that
it's
out.
a it's a Soviet Soviet comet.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. Kokura's sword. If it is the enemy turn, add a random destruction. If it's the enemy's turn, add a random Japanese ground unit to your support line and give it this ability. So that's just going on and on and on. Uh, yeah, I mean, more destruction is definitely going to be a thing. I think what's interesting is that Jagro has been small units and fast, and most people think that the destruction Jagro, basically the destruction deck that is going to take shape is going to be kind of Jagro-y, but it has some much larger tools, like much slower, much larger tools. So it'll be interesting if it becomes more mid-range, Jagro mid-range instead of a true aggro. Counter an order or deployment effects that targets a friendly unit. Oh yeah, cool. That's exactly what I wanted was the British to have more of that. I'm sure none of the old ones were retired either. Urban fighting. Set the operation cost of a target unit to 4 and destroy adjacent damaged units. That's really interesting. That's a cool like extrapolation or conclusion or whatever of Scorched. I think that it might see. I mean, yeah, especially with things like sickles and 1 damage to all, it should be pretty easy to make that a very profitable card. Gambit, both, I think I've seen this one. Add the unit with the highest cost in their hand to the support line. Yeah, I mean, Soviet ramp, that should be fun. I hope it's worth it. I think it's more worth it than the other one that we were talking about earlier. It's +2 attack on the front line. Deployment, swap a position with a friendly unit. Oh, so you can throw it into the front line. I could see this almost going in like Vines type thing, even though it's not a tank, or maybe like a CA. I don't know, a lot of units, not very much orders, which I really like. So let's really hope that this truly becomes a much more unit-based game. I would love that. What the people want. Another Blenheim, double damage if the front line is empty as a bomber for 4. It only has 3 healths, too easy to kill from hand, costs a lot to come out, but 4 is a good bit. I don't think that's going to see much play, but it does have a cool effect. Another HMS card is fun. So fill your support line with Swordfish. So 6 costs for 4 units that cost 1. I mean, obviously it's more Swordfish than like you're allowed to take normally, so that's a big deal. And cast still exists, right? Unfortunately,
Yeah.
for some dumb reason.
There
I
is
don't know.
no
It feels
HMS
expensive, but
Illustrious.
yeah.
There is the combination of this card plus Mass Attack to deal 4 damage for 10.
True. Could do that. They took out Empire, right, as well.
Yeah.
So you can't just deal for it. You can't make a board clear with it. When an enemy unit moves into the front line, your units get +1/+1. That's fun. I always liked that infantry, or maybe it's a tank, I can't remember. The Polish card that pins enemy units when they move into the front line.
Yeah, that's an infantry, and then they have a arty that deals 1 damage when they move into the front.
Yeah, yeah. Playing like some sort of Polish control where you just make having the front line like the worst possible idea for the enemy to me is very fun. I will probably play that even if it's bad. Deal 3 deals +3 damage to HQs. What? Oh, okay, so it just deals plus. Okay, yeah, sure. Um, cheap British guard, 1/8's okay. The deals damage like it's a defensive card, but you can use it offensively as long as you're hitting the HQ. I don't know. I don't think that'll see much. Game 3. So this is the new war bonds. If U.S. is ally, destroy a random enemy unit also. So no one's ever going to play this unless it's not an ally, since it costs 7. But yeah, Soviet ramp's going to take what, 2 of those at least?
or no one 5
Maybe
playing as
maybe just 1.
German US ramp.
True. Yikes Bank Pershing OTK. Um, this is cool, but it is a 6 cost to actually play the thing and run it, and it is conditional on you having the front line, so feels too weak. I mean, obviously it's not it's only unlimited, but I don't I don't see that making much of a splash. Fully repair all units in your support line. Destroy all units in the enemy support line. Oh my god, 9 cost. The Italians are back. Fully repair all units in your support line. Good
Canone.
God, this is. I
Canone.
was gonna say this is the. You think you have stopped the Canone? Gross. It's really expensive. It'll be interesting to see who can make use of that.
I think,
Its
but
potential is
think about
obvious,
this.
but
It's only 1 credit more than the guard deployment effect to destroy a target unit in the support line, but this does every unit in the support line.
it's true. I mean, if German Italy still exists, I have to imagine they're taking one of these. Also, imagine it against German Italy. What's that? You have a King Tiger? I don't care. Friendly unit is fully repaired. Reduce its op by 1. Give it +1 attack. The CBs. Really cool art on this card as well. I love the visual. If yeah, US aggro could be a thing, and this could be pretty useful. Um, we'll see how well the repair tech like really takes a hold of the game. I mean, obviously, if you're trying to get more unit based, then like repair tech and like making the units harder to kill, make them on the board longer, stickier, last longer. All of that is going to be useful. Did we can do it get retired?
No.
Okay. So yeah, I mean that obviously still. So this is a 4/3 that becomes a 6/5. Comes better if this is so you only want to take one? Like why would you ever take a second one? If you take a second one, then you know the second one that you're putting out is going to be a 4/3 for 4 cost with 2 op. I mean, it's just bad. It's a bad card. The
I
second
like
one that comes out is a bad
I
card.
like running it as a 1x.
Yeah, I mean, running it as a 1x is useful. I can see like if you think it's really good, you can run it as a 2x just because you think the chance of get like
You don't
it's
have here's
such
the
a
thing,
good
you don't
4
have
drop.
to. You just run one of these and run of a Ki 84 and you
Yeah,
have
I mean
2.
it's a good 4 drop, obviously. Like on turn 4, that's a crazy good 4 drop. Because obviously it would have been impossible for you to play one before. Uh, yeah, I mean it's very interesting that they're almost incentivizing you to only run one. Again, awesome art. Mount Fuji looks really cool. Plains over Fuji. I'm gonna take that out every time. Comes veteran when it survives combat, which is just a 5/5. Interesting that this is a Hurricane and not a Spitfire. New Fiat, HQ gains defense, fully repair a random friendly unit. Sure, I can see that maybe seeing some funsies. How do we how, how do we make like Canoes like heal us and do damage? Your exile units have blitz. Uh, it's only 4 cost for a 3/5 with blitz, but it costs 2 to run. Then gives your other exile units blitz. They've been begging people to make exile decks. This is maybe something that could finally push that into happening. There's some good exile cards that you could give blitz to, but I think most of them, the problem is I don't think there's many good low cost exile options. So then you're talking about like expensive blitzers. Deal 1 damage to each enemy unit. What the hell? And it's Intel 1 and it's 1 cost? I don't like that. I imagine that is seeing some play.
People think that with this card, Polish, Japan Polish, Japan Legions could be good again with the intel.
I can see that. Deal 1 damage to the enemy HQ when they're destroyed. Okay, so yeah, this will be in the destruction deck, I'm sure. It's a 3/4 infantry, 0 op cost, so it's a good body. Strong effect for the synergy of that particular deck. So, okay, Field House, but this is one of the ones that I did sort of see fully repaired on the unit, draw a card, feature paired unit. It's just like this to me is sort of power creep. I like why would I ever run Cadet Norse? I mean, no one ever ran Cadet Nurse Corps. Well, now, there's definitely no reason to ever run it. But US locks for draw, so I could definitely see that becoming a good card. Becomes veteran enable and gets +2/+4. Interesting. I feel like we haven't seen that many US veteran cards. We've seen more German and Soviet. I don't know if like more American ones are coming, or maybe I just have a bad memory. But this could be very good as a side unit. Big veteran Soviet American ramp might be pretty fun. The Mighty Fall, destroy target veteran unit. Cool. It's like destroy target elite. It's too subjective. Veterans are just now getting in the game, and you're gonna waste a card slot to like target kill them specifically. Just take any of the other removal in the game. Karkachev, enemy unit becomes veteran, deal 2 damage to it. All right, so some anti-veteran tech. Probably too specific. If the veteran deck is really good, then we'll see this. Otherwise, I can't imagine. Ooh, British elite friendly unit would deal 1 combat damage, deals 3 instead. My first thought is dumb, and it's just making like Humbers with no buffs like actually be good. But a large part of buffing the Humbers is getting them to attack for free as well. I don't know. There's probably some cool stuff. I mean, like I guess you could throw those into air early Spitfires. I'm sorry, early Swordfish and early Albacores and what's the fighter?
Gladiator.
I can't think of it. Yeah. Smarter people make better use of that than me. Friendly ground units get guard and add a US 3 cost unit to your support line at the start of your turn. So you can make something into a better version of the Sky Train, which is interesting. But it also gets guards, so everything's going to be able to attack it, and it's probably going to get. I mean, I would say that it's good because you're getting a 3 cost. You're doing it on your turn. It's at the end of your turn, right? Oh no, it's start. Damn it, it's start. So it's got to live. Probably not going to see play then. It's going to be too easy to remove whatever you put it on. And that's where most of the value, I would say, is probably drawn from it. Too easy to play it and have them steal the value away. Pathfinders is a 2/2, deal 2 damage to a unit. If it destroys it, then you get Blitz. And at the start of your turns after that, a random enemy unit retreats. Very cool. I imagine this will definitely see play. In some sort. Well, it's very aggressive. I don't know. It's gonna if there's like a US aggro deck, maybe whatever US deck is like too fast. Maybe this is or too slow, I mean. But you could probably put this in mid range. I would have to imagine this sees play. To deal 2 damage to a unit with a 2/2 body that's coming out for 3, like already is good. Using the front line comes veteran, gets +1/+1 in ambush, sure. Just kind of a filler card.
That's it.
Oof. That's all of them. That's all of them. I have 19,000 gold saved up. That's how I plan to. I'm gonna buy 19,000 golds worth of officer packs.
Yeah, I think it's cool overall. Any closing thoughts? I think my favorite card is the IJN Japanese card.
Legion,
I like a lot of the Japanese cards. I'm not sold on the veteran and pincer stuff yet.
yeah, it did. I don't think Pincer's really going to take a hold. I didn't see. So basically, what this means is that Pincer is going to be the number one meta deck because I am saying that it's not, and I'm dumb and wrong. So uh,
Well,
place your bets now. It's officially 100% going to be the best one. But what I really think is that Pincer isn't good enough to stand to like really be in any meta decks now, and I don't see new Pincer in this that's really going to like push it over the top.
I think
So I
Protect
don't
the
know.
Pocket will be. I mean, there's pincer ramp cards like the fighter pilot. You know, you can if you get Protect the Pocket out, it's almost like a German Commonwealth.
And eh, there's going to be some pretty fun stuff. We'll have to see. I think almost what's more relevant than these new cards is what's being retired. And I don't really have a great handle on what's being retired because I have been taking the last few months off until very recently. But I'm really excited for all this new meta shakeup. I think it was sorely needed. Uh, and I really hope that some brand new stuff is going to take a hold. And I really hope that we start to see more chess matches, just heavy unit, big boards, big board movement, some real war games type stuff coming out uh, of the game and the matches coming up. That's my hope.
All right, thank you guys. Have a great Thursday.